Tree. They really didn't know what they were doing. Hello my roofing and construction friends, Dmitry here with the Roofing Insights, helping you become a better contractor every single week. And today we're talking about marketing. I've got a lot of questions within the last couple of weeks. I understand that marketing can be really tricky. A lot of contractors out there are completely confused. How much should I spend on apparel? How much should I spend on a business cards, on hats, Facebook, Google? How much websites should be? How do I budget for all of that? What do I do overall, branding and marketing wise? So in this video, I'm gonna try to explain exactly that, how I've been doing, what's the healthy number and what's not healthy number when it comes to marketing and branding. Just a couple of weeks ago, I have a representative from Dex Knows. Dex Knows is, I believe, Dallas-owned company, over $1 billion company, a really big advertisers back in the day. I think they're kind of going down. And I sat down with the rep, and he was trying to sell me all these listings online, over 100 listings. And he was going like, Dmitry, for $300, we can put you on the 300 or 150 listings, wherever the amount was. And I asked him only one question. I said, listen, it's all good. I believe you have really good presentation here. I believe in your company. I believe you can put me in those listings, but is that going to generate at least one lead for me? One phone call? Can you guarantee if I write you a check for $300 every single month, are you guaranteeing me that my phone will ring at least one time? And he told me this. He said, Dmitry, in this day and time, nobody can promise anything, and if they do, they're lying to you. See, that's very disturbing, guys, because think about it. Somebody's asking you to pay them $300 a month. That's a car payment. You can spend $300 and at least drive a car for an entire month. Now, there's all these agencies, and by the way, when you start a company, when you go on your own, your phone gonna be getting bombarded. The way I look at the marketing is this. There is a healthy balance between what you can spend, and that balance, as business owners, always have to be right in your numbers. Nobody can tell you if you should spend $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Your business have to determine that. My golden rule has always been 5%. I call it 5% marketing fat. Business owners can be delusional. We want to fake it before we make it. We want to look better than we are in real life. On one side, we don't want to overspend, but when we spend, and especially when you waste money and you don't get your return, you don't want to admit, hey, I overspent in the marketing. Look what I have here. T-shirts, folders, magnets, flyers, even mouse pads, bird houses. All of this is marketing budget in a way. So for me, it's all marketing, it's all branding, and let me show you how I break it all down. So I firmly believe that from your gross sales, so let's say you sell $1 million, you should never spend more than 5% on average on marketing. So if you gross sales in construction, roofing, or whatever business you're in, I firmly believe you should spend about 5% back on marketing. What it includes is branding, advertising, business essential, and lead generations. So I don't want you to spend 5% on lead generation, go in and hire an agency who will be charging you $100, $150 per lead. That's not what I'm talking about. For me, 5% is 5%. By the way, another advertiser probably calling me. So for me, it's branding, it's your business cards, it's folders, it's apparel, it's your hats, pants, vehicle wraps, yard signs, I personally never ever go anything cheap because it's impression. I get tons of compliments on my business cards, and I'm gonna share in the comments company who does all my marketing. This is my cards. So it has spot UV. It's really cool. It's really well designed. I get compliment almost every time I hang out with a card. So this box of cards does cost $150 versus $40 or $30 at Vistaprint, but you get what you pay for. And for me, it's a big deal. I don't go cheap, and I'll explain a little bit later why. So my yard sign cost $50. I could get away with a $20 yard sign. I don't do it. I want to make sure it stays and it lasts for long. This yard sign not gonna bend, not gonna be destroyed by the wind, and can be reused over and over again. I've used $20 yard signs. They look like crap after a couple jobs, and I would not recommend it to anybody. Yes, you spend a little bit more, but you get much better product. I also love my business magnets. As a matter of fact, they cost almost as much as my business cards. On the first year in business, I did about $900,000 in sales. For the first 6 months, I could not even do the roofs. So what I've done is I did magnets, and I put roofing siding gutters on all my magnets. And my goal was to be on every fridge of every person I met that year. So let's say I met 500 people, and I think I did order like 1,000 magnets. I gave them all away, and a lot of people on the second and third year did call me back to replace their roofs. It cost 20 cents per piece. I think $200 will get you about 1,000 magnets. They work better than business cards because people don't want to throw them away. If you give them on every estimate, you will see little return on investment. Advertising, it's your billboards, TV ads, radio ads, Google pay-per-click, Facebook ads, referrals. What I mean by referrals is when you pay people to refer customers to you, $50, $100, $200, whatever the amount is, magazines. Then you have your business essentials, your website. How much is website should cost? Free listings. There's tons of stuff you don't have to pay. Trade partnerships, certifications, YouTube. Guys, it's still free. It blows my mind. YouTube is free. You can create a good video on YouTube, on your cell phone. Just tell your story for free, upload it to YouTube, and here you go. It doesn't cost you anything. The same goes with the Facebook. And then obviously you have your lead generation services, AngelList, Thumbtack, Porch.com, Home Advisor, Yellow Pages. I would add here, some people use call centers. Will sell you leads pretty much, especially if you're in storm restoration business. My friend David Moore from Smart Roofing in Colorado, a couple months ago I flew there and I met with him, been in his office. He shared his thoughts about the business. Very smart business owner. I respect David a lot. And when I look at his business plan, he only budgeted 2-3% for marketing. And I don't think it's enough. And I understand that business people want to save money, but for me, you have to spend before you make. You need to understand how people make decisions these days. If you are in a market where 2,000-3,000 contractors competing with you, you need to realize you're not competing with all 2,000-3,000. You're competing, how many top elite companies in town? Maybe 10, 20. I guarantee you they're going to be really well branded, they're going to be on TV, they're going to be on the radio, and they're going to be hard to compete. When you do all of this, and you're going to do it on 5% of your budget, you can literally compete with the big dogs on the first year. And that's what a lot of guys who just getting into business don't understand. They believe that branding is only for the big company. It's not true. Why do you think McDonald's advertise on every radio station, still do a lot of commercials? Who doesn't know McDonald's? Everybody knows about them, but they still do it. Why? Here's the main question I want to answer today. Why do you have to brand yourself? Why do you have to invest at least 5% of all your gross revenue in your branding and marketing? Because people will forget about you if you don't. They will. You know how many people that I've replaced roofs? I've asked people, hey, who did your roof 5 years ago? They could not name the company. It blows my mind. I guarantee you this. If I replace your roof, you will remember me. You will remember my story, because my guys are going to be wearing nice shirts when they do the work. Everybody in the neighborhood will see, hey, this was a storm group job. My yard sign going to be there. And we just stand out like that, and it doesn't cost you a lot of money. Let's say you spend $50,000 on marketing. You should also budget $1 million in return worth of sales for that $50,000. Here's how I would break it down. If I have, let's say you just started and this is your business, and this is me 4 years ago. If I have $50,000, obviously I'm not going to do TV ads, it's too expensive. I'm not going to do radio. For first 3 years, I didn't even do Google pay-per-click. If I have $50,000, I would do $5,000 on the vehicle wraps. And you can watch my video about vehicle wraps. I explained in detail why I love it so much and why it's my first on the list. My first $2,000 that I put in my business was on this car right here. And what it does, if you start with a vehicle wrap, now literally every job that you do become a photo session. You go on the jobs, I mean, look at my magnets. That's a photo session right there. My latest website, you can check it down, stormwaveproofing.com. It's only cost me $1,500. I get compliments, and one of the compliments I get a lot, people say, Dmitry, we like your pictures because they look not like a stock images, looks like you own them. Of course I do. I have wrapped vehicles right next to my jobs, right next to my roofs. I probably spent $25,000 somewhere on a big account. 4 years ago for me it was Angie's List. It could be Google AdWords. It could be whatever works the most. Everything in marketing changes. What works today is not going to work probably 6 months from now. Yellow Pages was killing it 5 years ago. It's dead now. Your best account. And whatever it is, maybe you are killing it in Home Advisor. Maybe Thumbtack gives you great results. Maybe it's Angie's List, maybe Porsche.com. Whatever it is, you can spend a little bit more there. Probably $10,000 on essentials. For me, putting money back in my business, I always know that branding pays back. You invest today and later you're gonna get the money back. We've got calls to our office of these shirts right here. Literally, guys would be eating lunch in Chinese buffet, and somebody would come in and say, hey, can I get a number? Or they go to Home Depot and somebody's shopping around them and they say, hey, can I get a number, or do you have a card? Or they would just turn around and make pictures of their bag. How nice is that? How cool. I mean, but it works. It worked for us many times. Let me call my project manager. He made a comment on the last job we've been doing. Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Can you join me for 1 second? I want to interview you.
Yeah, 1 second, please. What do you got Home Advisor up there for? Thought we were done.
It's my not to-do list. So we're talking about marketing and branding and all of that stuff. So Adam here is my project manager. Thanks for your hard work, man. So you're my project manager. You don't know how much I spent. You just see it on the field. Tell me what you see.
When I'm driving around to our own jobs, you look around all the other houses that are going on, and you see guys with mismatching outfits, roll-off dumpsters in their yard or on their driveway, sinking into the asphalt. There looks like a lack of organization, and those are all the roofs that a lot of the general contractors are just trying to throw up right away. And when people wait for us, every single time they say it was worth it.
Nice. What do you think, like, average ticket on those jobs that you're seeing? Like, is it $3,000 job, $8,000 jobs? I mean, what kind of jobs are we talking about? What kind of neighborhoods are we in?
Nice neighborhoods.
Like 10, 15,000?
Yeah.
Like big roofs? So think about it. Like, you have $10,000, $15,000 jobs, and this, would you say that sometimes this actually represents what's happening on the job sites? Or it's a little bit exaggeration?
Maybe a little bit.
Let's say tomorrow I come in and say, guys, from this point forward, I'm saving every penny. I want to take my family on vacation this winter and I have to cut expenses. I mean, what would happen in your mind?
It's not the same. Our guys that are putting the roofs on are begging for shirts. They're begging for hats. They're begging for professionalism. They want to be a part of that. They're not even like subs. They feel like they are part of our team because they are. Whether they're on our payroll or not, when they're wearing those shirts, they're on our team.
So true. Thanks for sharing, man.
Okay.
I want to summarize 4 things that will happen when you invest in your business and when you spend at least 5%. And I don't recommend spend more. I don't recommend spend less. You have to spend. All you guys have to spend on the marketing. How much you spend, up to you. My recommendation, 5%. Let me explain a little bit that it's not always going to be the same. For example, in March or winter months, March, May, early on in the season, I'm probably going to be at 10%, maybe even 15% of my sales for that month on marketing. So for example, if I do $100,000 a month in May, I can spend $10,000 because I have to boost my sales. I'm going to have booth at the trade show. I'm going to have maybe more ads or more flyers, so whatever the case is. But then come August, I can have $1 million a month and I can only spend the same $10,000. So which equals 1%. It's overall. If I do $5 million this year, I have legal and moral right in my marketing brain to spend $250,000. But it's never ever on one agency or one bucket. It's all together. And a lot of those money I will have back. And also, when you spend it like that, when you don't, let's say you're becoming bigger, you have more sales guys, it's kind of working out. Keep spending, keep growing your brand. It's worth it. Keep getting trade shows. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna sign contracts that just don't work. For example, I signed with Yelp, $300 a month wasted. And I always negotiate really, really hard. I don't like to sign 1-year agreements. You know, they're really aggressive on those cold calls. Hey, we work, we get you, we guarantee you results. You know what? Let me try it. So I try them for 3 months. I don't get phone calls, cut them off. I'm sorry. Yellow Pages don't work for me. Yelp might work in California, in Minneapolis they don't. I don't like their algorithms. And there's a lot of things. The thing is, what doesn't work for me might work for you. But when you invest in your branding, for one, you will have you will be more confident about yourself and your sales ability to sell the jobs. I guarantee you that, because when you're sitting in front of the homeowner, he constantly looks at your logo or make compliment on your business card, your magnet, or your car, you already feel better. So even your sales will go a little bit up just because you feel more confident. You heard my testimonial from Adam. Your employees will want to be part of it. When I do interviews for other people to join my team, they come in, they always say, hey, I looked you guys up, you look really decent, I see your team. They come in, they're gonna see all of this, and they want to be part of it a lot of times because they see how serious you are. Branding shows that commitment, that you as an owner committed to your own business. And number 3, you're gonna have a lot of subs and vendors will have much more respect for you. My ABC rep, I didn't have ABC account. He called me and signed me with ABC. He was driving on the highway behind me. He's like, Dmitry, he called me up. He introduced himself and he said, I've seen your vehicle on the highway. It looks like you don't have ABC account. And he bought me lunch, and I got account at ABC after that. And lastly, it's all about sales. Obviously, you will have increase in your sales, and more importantly, it's going to be not up and down. So for example, you can go and spend $10,000 a month on Facebook ads or Google pay-per-click. Next month you turn it off, your results are dead. When you spend 5% on everything on this board, you're going to see results again and again and again. Why do you want to brand yourself, and why 5%? It's a good marketing fat. So sometimes you will spend more, sometimes you will spend less. 5%, it's my personal comfort zone. It's not gonna put your cash flow in jeopardy. If you're spending 10%, it's gonna eat a lot of your profits. You want to have enough cash for operating expenses, for taxes, for payroll, and all of that stuff. 5% is a great number to work with. Maintain it really well, and you're gonna be killing it. Doesn't matter how small or big. For example, on my first year in business, I built my website by myself. A lot of people say, oh, you have to have a website. No, you don't. Figure out yourself where you're going to put that 5%. So let's say you're doing $100,000 a month, you have $5,000 to spend. Figure out what works the best. So at the end, guys, I highly want to recommend 2 books here. One is Visual Hammer, and another one, Word in a Boardroom. I want you to understand the branding, how it works. These 2 books changed my perspective 5 years ago, right before I was starting my company. Visual Hammer, read this book, guys. You will see and understand how people make decisions. For you right now, especially if you're just getting started, you're probably thinking, oh, it's all about quality work. It's all about putting, the best roofing system. Guess what? Who are you kidding? We all install the same shingles. We all go to the same suppliers. There's nothing proprietary in what we do. The only thing that's gonna set you apart is how you present yourself, because that's how people gonna judge you. When you invest in your presence, in your brand, you can literally overnight compete with the $50-60 million companies. Because yes, they can have 50 sales guys, they can have $20 million in the bank, and you can be broke and you can put your last dollar on your last nice shirt. But guess what? You go in and sometimes you can close it and steal it from $50 million company. Do you want to make it big or not? Do you want to compete with the biggest companies in your area, with the best, or you always want to be underdog? When I moved to my city, to Minneapolis, I had only one goal: to become the best, to become number one. And I did not care about competition. Branding is not selling. This is not what I teach. If you read Gary Vee, Jab, Right Hook book, you will see core principle of branding. You have to give, and then you ask. The same goes everywhere in marketing and branding for me. I want to make sure I'm in front of you. I want to make sure I deliver value to you. And when you need a service, I want to offer it to you. And every once in a while, I'm going to offer you a deal, or I'm going to ask for a business. But majority of the time, I'm just going to be there, just like McDonald's. You're going to hear me on the radio. You're going to see me on the TV. You're going to see my YouTube video. You're going to read my posts. And when storm hits and when you need my service, I'm going to be there for you. That's what marketing will do. And a lot of companies, they'll get to their comfort zone, $2-3 million, and they stop marketing. Do you want to be a company who makes $25 million with the 25 sales guys one year, and next year they go down to the 5? I mean, what gives? Where did 20 go? Or do you want to be a company that constantly growing? Maybe today you do 4, next year you do 6, next year you do 8, keep going and going and going. 5% of your marketing fat, constantly reinvest in your business, will help you to grow 20-30% every year organically. Just don't try to spend less, and don't try to save on it. It's a good, healthy balance. Hope it helps, guys. Let me know what you think. It's comments, subscribe to my channels, like my page, follow me. If you need any help, send me an email, comment, or private message me on the Facebook. I'm here for you, and we're in it together. I'm gonna help you to become a best contractor you can be.